All right. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Creative REI. I'm your host, Dante, aka Don Teasy. And on this particular video, we are going to do a tutorial on PropStream. Um, PropStream, guys, is a software-based technology that allows you a lot of tools on your belt. Okay, so number one of those tools is list pooling, right? So if you need to pull a list of potential distressed sellers or motivated sellers, PropStream is going to be able to do that for you. The amount of data in PropStream is a very powerful tool. It gives you a lot of information about a property that you typically would have to get had you had, maybe gone to the county clerk's office or just the county in general. So thanks to them, it makes it a lot easier for you to pull the amount of technology, or I'm sorry, the amount of data that you need to pull. Um, First thing we're going to go into is, how do we pull a list, right? How do we get distressed sellers? Well, that's the first thing we use PropStream for. So for my example here, we're going to actually pull a list in San Diego County. Okay. So first thing I have is San, please. All right. So, all right. So first thing we're going to put in is our list, right? So our list is how we're going to find distressed homeowners or motivated sellers. So we're going to start off with San Diego County, okay? Because that's where we're at. So if you look here, we have a total of 1.1 million homes in San Diego County just by doing the county itself. You look here, you got 2,400 of them on MLS. Looks like 1,000 pre-foreclosures, 145 auctions. Might be a pretty decent signal of distress. Now, the thing with these particular properties, if you are new, is you're having to go up against people like me who are very familiar with the industry. They understand how the auctions go. So they know how to talk about stuff like that. So those are going to be obviously the creme de la creme, but just keep in mind that's like the list that everybody hits. Then you obviously got bank owned, not a bad one. We got cash buyers, we got liens, vacants, and high equity. Okay. Now I like to go through the filters. Let me clear out the filters and do San Diego County again. We're gonna go through the filters in San Diego County. We can do, let's say, non-owner occupied and vacant in San Diego County. And now we got 4,400 properties, okay? Non-owner occupied. Now, these are all types of properties, right? So this could be agriculture, this could be commercial, this could be land. I want to focus on just single family condos and maybe 2 to 4 units. Now see, look what happens to my number there. Okay, it slowly chips away. What do you want to do? So the cool thing about this software is the more filters you put in, the more you can hone in on exactly what you're looking for and then keep this list updated every single week, month, or year if you'd like to, right? So property characteristics, single family, okay? I want to do only residential. I don't want anything other than residential. Property owner types, let's say, okay, so here's another one, MLS. I like off-market properties, so I'm going to say no to off-market. I do not want any of the properties I'm dealing with listed, so that's going to take those off. We could do pre-foreclosures, so let's say they're actually scheduled for auction. So we now have non-owner occupied vacant properties scheduled for auction. Looks like if you look at it here, we only have 2 actual properties that fit this description. I mean, this is as honed down as you can get it as far as distress. If you want to look for absolutely distressed, maybe call these 2 people and see where they're at. They also look at this negative equity. That could be a potential creative deal if you know how to do creative. If you don't know how to get creative, I would recommend either reaching out to somebody who does and working with them. I do not recommend doing creative deals until you've actually done one with somebody. All right, so let's go ahead and take the auction off and go back to that. Let's go to ownership type. I want only individuals. Okay, so I want people that own the houses, non-owner occupied, vacant, and now gives me a list of 1,000 properties to pay with. Okay, now I know right now with just these 1,000 properties, I can then go hit the box here, add to a list, and I'm going to create new. Okay, so this is what I like to do. So I would put San Diego County slash non NOO non-owner occupied slash vacant slash individual. Okay, and then I'm gonna add today's date, so 5/2/23 to keep track of that list. So now I have a list of 1,100 properties that are potentially interested in selling. Okay, now if we want to take it a step further, we can go to liens, and I could put tax and HOA liens. Okay, now I only have 6 properties that are currently non-owner occupied, currently vacant, with liens on them. Okay, so if you guys are noticing, we're having I call them data points, right? So these data points are going to create signals of distress. So obviously, the more data points, the more distressed that these properties are, which means most likely they are interested in selling or willing to sell, right? So this is a good list right here. So I mean, obviously it's only 6. If you want to just call only 6 and narrow it down, you could do that. If you guys want to go a little bit bigger and have a little bit more to call, you could make the bigger list and we can go back and you can go at that route. Another thing that somebody told me was mortgages, right? A lot of people, they weren't really in the industry back in 2006, but there was a lot of adjustable mortgages that got people put into a bind. Well, adjustable rate mortgages are situations where the rates exactly do that. They adjust. So you could maybe find somebody who has an adjustable rate and maybe can't keep up with what the new rates are adjusting to, especially with the way that the interest rates are raising, right? So keep that in mind. And then we can, kind of just go and see if you can renegotiate there. So obviously you got 68 properties when you do that. But I think for the sake of keeping it simple, let's just do the regular filter of the 110. So then we're going to pull this list and we're going to go to skip trace, right? So you're going to have 12 cents per deal. Now keep in mind, guys, somebody once told me that a list is like equity. Okay, so if you make a list and they're not interested in selling right now, well, that doesn't mean you throw away the list. Okay, it just means they might not be interested now. I've had a deal where I've followed up with them for over 3 years and then was able to actually turn it into a deal. So there's that there. But yeah, so if you guys wanted to, let's say, take your list for San Diego, boom, and I wanted to go skip trace all 1,100 of them, they're going to charge me obviously a percentage, okay, at 12 cents. If you get the list automator, obviously they only drop it down to 10 cents. And that's going to be your way to be able to pull phone numbers, and then you start dialing. Okay, so that's number 1. Now, another thing I want to go over is let's look at this first property here. Okay, this is just as a perfect example. Looks like the data on here is extremely awesome. So we can see the last time it was actually put on the market. So it was actually, looks like this was listed as a rental on there for 19 days back in April. It looks like it's possibly for rent. Not sure if this person might be interested in selling, right? If you guys are wanting to run comps, let's say you do get somebody that is interested in selling. I like to run comps within the last 90 days with the current market. Maybe we go back 4 or 5 months if we need to, but this is what the current comps are showing in the area. So this is a good tool to play with. Obviously, I want to keep them single family if the property's single family. So comps is another good one. Tax information, obviously you can see the tax assessment. So this will tell you how much their taxes have gone up, their property tax. This is my personal favorite, is linked properties. Okay, now if you're a licensed realtor, you're gonna be able to get pretty much linked properties nationwide. Whereas if you're a licensed realtor, you're really just gonna get it in the area in the vicinity that you are currently licensed and hold MLS listings in. So you're not going to have access to all of their properties, right? So I can see that this person on Amber Lake also owns a property in Washington. So it looks like, this maybe this is telling us a story, right? This person bought a house in San Diego, maybe thought San Diego was too expensive, so they decided to move to Washington. So they got a house in Washington as well. Okay. So these people have two houses. Cool thing to show, right? Here's another thing. Mortgage transactions, 2011, financed. Looks like this house might be paid off because I don't see a current mortgage on it. So that's good. Let's go to the next house. Let's see if we can find a mortgage. Here we go. Boom. They got one loan that they've refinanced on a VA in 2020 at a 2.8% interest rate, with the estimated payment of 4,700 and a loan balance of 1.1 mil. Okay. So this is a very good tool to use when you're talking to your seller. I know a lot of times in scripts, they want you to ask, how much do you own the mortgage, right? What's your monthly mortgage payment? What's your interest rate? So as opposed to asking those questions, because you will get some sellers that don't want to divulge that info. They're going to say, why do you need to know that? Or why does it matter, et cetera, et cetera. Well, with this, now you already know the information. So you could just simply say, hey, is the loan amount still 1.1 or has it gone down a little bit? Now you have something to play around with, right? Is your interest rate still 2.8% or has it adjusted since then? Is your monthly payment still 4,700? And this is going to leave an open for communication with your seller on being able to get the information that you need. So if you guys who do creative, right, you'll be able to actually open yourselves up for more creative, right? So as opposed to, hey, let me see your mortgage statement and see what the mortgage statement says, right? Like that's going to be a very powerful tool. And then obviously there's documents here if it's currently in foreclosure. It'll let us know that. Let's go to a foreclosure one and see auction date 1. So we got a house in La Costa, currently in pre-foreclosure. That was filed there. If you want to go here, we can pull all the notices if we wanted to. These got a 6.75 adjustable rate. Okay. They also own 12 properties, so chances are they're investors probably just know what they're doing. In California, it's a little bit harder to foreclose. So what they're doing is they are probably playing the system to not make payments and probably just renting out the house until they decide they want to sell. I have come across a lot of these type of properties where the landlords or the owners do understand how the California rules work, so they kind of use it to finesse their way through the system where they don't have to pay a mortgage, but they can rent it out and make money. Check this out. This also has a lien. Okay. So the lien is a city tax they haven't paid for $12,000. So chances are the foreclosure that they're getting might be a tax foreclosure. Okay. Maybe they're falling behind on their payments as well. There's a lot of, this is like a hot lead right here. This guy is in pre-foreclosure. He's got a tax lien. Looks like he owns other properties. So he might be an investor that might just be struggling. I mean, we come across these all the time when we talk to them. Hey, what's going on? Are you struggling investor? What's happening, et cetera, et cetera. Check this out. He's got other houses too. I'm curious to see if he's up to date on these houses and maybe just behind on the other one. This was a cash sell, so he's actually free and clear on this. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has a mortgage on it. So um I'm kind of curious to have a conversation with this guy and see exactly what's going on. Hey man, saw I was in pre-foreclosure and you owe some taxes. Hey, came across your property on La Costa Avenue. Was wondering if you're interested in, selling that. Right. So that is a huge thing with using PropStream. The data points, obviously, if you can tell the more data points that you have, the more chances of distress that they probably are. So chances are they need help, right? So you're going to be that solution to their problem. So guys, that's pretty much my tutorial for PropStream. If you guys are interested in trying PropStream, I'm going to put a link below that'll give you 7 days free. If you feel like you have any more questions about how PropStream works, please feel free to reach out to me at the Creative REI on Instagram or the official Dante Pena on Instagram. I'm always open to my DMs. If not, I can always reach you in regards to somebody that does. But yeah, this is my PropStream demonstration. This is what we use PropStream for. Yeah, feel free to reach out, guys. Thank you for watching.